Sorry. Oh, sorry. This is the wrong video.
Ownership of the moment there from Warne. Strategically and tactically, a gifted man, a gifted cricketer.
Wherever he went, there was always so much hype and so much attention, and he just lapped it up. He wanted the big stage, he wanted to perform and show the world how good he was.
He realised that cricket and being out on a cricket ground like here at Lord's, you are centre stage and you are trying to entertain people. I think cricket needed Shane Warne.
Just couldn't dominate him. Didn't matter if I took 1 wicket or 40. I didn't like losing.
When he was bowling, you kind of felt there was real ownership of the moment from Warne. Watching a spell from Shane Warne, you got your money's worth.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sports Breakdown once again. It's a really tragic day, guys. I mean, Shane Warne, the legendary Australian leg spinner, passes away at the age of 52 due to a sudden heart attack which he has suffered from a holiday in Thailand, in Koh Samui. So, this is a very unfortunate death. And we have Surinder Paji over here and Rohan as well. Paji, I mean, this is really sad to see. I mean, Shane Warne. I mean, he was fit. I mean, he was healthy, fit throughout 2022. Was doing commentary, was advising young players, teaching even Rashid Khan in the Big Bash League. So he was a inspiration to everyone, especially spinners. And Chahal even tweeted. I mean, so many leg spinners got inspired by Shane Warne, the legendary Shane Warne. So your thoughts? I mean, this is just tragic news because Rod Marsh, even Shane Warne tweeted just 14 hours ago on
Yeah,
passing away of Mr. Rod Marsh, who passed away at the age of 74 as well. So this is tragic. This is a very tragic day to Australia cricket today, and there are sources that they may cancel Australia versus Pakistan. They are monitoring that. Since they have to attend the funeral of Shane Warne, but yeah, still, Paji, sir, your thoughts?
it's just absolutely horrendous. I got a text, a few hours back, and I just, I didn't believe it. To be fair, it's one thing that you just sit there and think no, and then you start checking the media and social media, and then the sources where the information comes from. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Absolutely. And the thing is, I was in my prime when Shane bowled the first ball of this century, and I can still remember it today. And that was just a changing moment in cricket because spin bowling was dying. We had West Indies with the powerful West Indies unit playing without spinners, and you thought, cricket a spinner is dead in cricket, and then suddenly this guy from Australia with bleached blonde hair turns up likes to drink, likes to smoke, have a good time, and suddenly cricket and spinners have a new superstar, and then every season after that, first thing you look for in the Australian team of stars was Shane Warne. Shane playing
Definitely,
some.
because I mean he's one of the Wisden cricketers of the century. He was one of the five Wisden cricketers of the century. So that's how much Shane Warne
Oh,
has
100%.
recognized.
and
Yeah,
and, and and I say it's not just the wickets, it's the style, and putting cricket from a really posh boy sport into a person from no background coming in and changing the face of cricket. I think that's what it is. And for us as IPL fans, Rajasthan Royals, my connection with Rajasthan Royals is due to Shane Warne. It's just a horrendous day. 52 is just like, that's just 2 years of me and it's no life. It's really is. I'm really deeply shocked to hear this.
Yeah, Rohan, your thoughts? I mean, this is a very, very tragic day for the world of cricket. I mean, this should be the most devastating news for the world of cricket, maybe in this decade, even, I would say, because this is just shocking. I mean, Rod Marsh just passed away at the age of 74, just 14 hours later. As you can see here, the tweet that Shane Warne has, sad to hear the news that Rod Marsh has passed. He was a legend of our great game and an inspiration to so many young boys and girls. Rod cared deeply about cricket and gave so much, especially to Australian English players, sending lots and lots of love to Ross and the family. R.I.P. mate.
Yeah.
14 hours later, this tragic news comes. And yeah, it's really heartbreaking and it's really, really bad right at the moment for any cricket fan with the legacy he has created.
Pawan, I mean, just to start with Rod Marsh. Rod Marsh, if you see, I know he's a different era in the 70s, 80s. He played along with the Dennis Lilly, Ian Chappell, the Chappell brothers, everyone.
Yeah,
Um, he played around 95 test matches, bro. I mean, in
yeah,
this day and age, you would have thought you would have played another 4 5 tests to complete that 100 and all that milestones. But he retired. You know why? Because in that last test match that he played, along with Dennis Lilly and Greg Chappell, they also retired. His quote was, "They're all his mates." So when they are also going, I want to go with them. There's no
yeah.
hunky funky things like milestones or anything. They played for enjoyment.
Mm,
He was the academy director for Australia, the chief selector. England also he helped in the Ashes, which they won that famous 2005. He was the director there. So Rod Marsh's contribution also is huge. But coming to Shane Warne, man, I mean, for us growing up, leg spin, as Suripaji was saying, was almost a dying art. Only other guy who was around that time, I know he was retired by then, was Abdul Qadir. But when Shane Keat Warne came in and bowled that, okay, I think his debut wasn't so good against India at the SCG. But
yeah,
when they landed in England at the Ashes, that first ball in Old Trafford to Mike Gattin, the mall of the century that everybody of us know it as, he arrived. He made leg spin fashionable, bro. I mean, every one of us was trying to ball that ball, recreate it, get the ball around the legs of every batsman that we used to try. How many times, even walking down the road, we used to have imitate that Shane Warne action.
mm,
Kids, I mean,
great.
I think Suripaj, you said it. Yuzi Chahal, Amit Mishra was there. I think even Yasir Shah,
Yasir Shah.
Adam Zampa. I mean, every leg spinner you name it, bro, is inspired by Shane Warne. Kuldeep Yadav. I mean, to add on, I think I know our viewers of the Sports Breakdown will know our little Aman also is a huge fan of Shane Warne.
Yeah, yes.
So you can see the amount of people he has reached out to. That guy is an inspiration, man. Shane Keat Warne was huge. I mean, whatever his lifestyle off the pitch or anything you can say, but on
Yeah,
the field he's a legend. And
true.
you saw the control he had, man. It's leg spin bowling, it's
Mm,
not fast bowling or anything. You don't remember a Shane Warne getting a wicket of a full toss or something which
yes.
nowadays leg spinner you get some
Yeah,
long hops, anything. This guy plotted and planned how to get batsmen out. Flipper to a Daryl Cullinan or Alex Stewart, when he used to get that through, when his shoulder was good, you can say that Flipper was damn potent. But then he slowly developed more drift, more variations. I know his record against India is a bit questionable, but keeping that aside, man, every other team he was a threat. He could get you in the mind first. Forget on the field. He used to have that an aura when you are up against Shane Warne. You remember the 1999 World Cup semi-final?
yeah,
Almost
yes.
Australia
And
200 odd. Not a big total to
South
be
Africa.
honest. Yeah,
Yeah,
South Africa had 50 for no loss anything. He got Gibbs, Cronje, Cullinan, everyone. Suddenly the game turned. That was Vaughn's image and his flamboyance, everything, man. He could do. You named it in your poll here. So many spells. There are million more, I think, where he
yeah.
had that
Yeah,
impact.
hundreds
Adelaide,
of true.
yeah.
And he was
It,
really good in the Ashes. One of the best. I mean, I mean, even the best, I would say, bowler in the
yeah,
Ashes ever in history, I would
yeah,
say,
yeah.
Shane.
Definitely,
Multiple
man.
times he would get 5 wicket hauls, 4 wicket hauls, and he was just a threat to the English batsmen. Whether it was in Australia, whether it was in England, it doesn't matter. He was
Mm,
simply too good. And
yeah.
yeah, Bashya, coming to you. Before coming to Bashya, I want to show this video also of Andrew Strauss that he got also back in 2006. Another
I think the
memorable.
700th wicket was it?
Yeah,
No,
I
this is
think so.
the
Yeah,
in Ashes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This
yeah.
2005.
I think 2005. Yes, that was just. I really don't know about Shane Art. It's just a art of master class, I would say right now. of Shane Warne. That's how good he was. Yeah. So yeah, Basha, coming to you, this news. I mean, really, really tragic right now, devastating. Anyone watching in the 90s, 80s, 90s who watched cricket, especially in the 90s, people who grew up must be remembering about Shane Warne even to today as well and being inspired. So your thoughts on this devastating news?
First of all, feels like our childhood has been shattered. To be very honest, even Paji would remember him much more because we started watching cricket set back in early 2001, 2002. But Shane Warne that time was a big name. To be very honest, and what I feel right now, plus I'm right now I'm in Canada, and when you woke up with this news, your rest of the day is like it's just gone. Just thinking deep down, you're talking about his memories, his on-field chats, his off-field chats, whatever he has done to the cricket. I mean, you have to put respect to his name despite of his off-field activities. Like he's the second or the third highest wicket taker in Test cricket. Again, that's the massive achievement. Like 700 wickets is not a big joke at this moment of time. Like there are many good spinners, there are many good players right now who we think are the best, but deep down we know no one has that aura or that potential who can take 700 wickets. I mean, to be very honest, like uh, Shane was my childhood hero too, and uh, uh, post his retirement, I enjoyed his commentary a lot. He and Gilly made the best pair in Big Bash and even the Ashes. Like the last Ashes, which the Australia won, but still, his way. And when in 2019, in 2018, 18 start when the sandpaper controversy happened, he was the first one to voice his opinion and the fearless opinions he puts up without bothering. Like, will world come back and hit him up? But again, I'm like I don't have any words right now, but what we can do is we can just remember the good things he's given to the cricket, and that's all I could say. I mean, everyone is right now is not in a mood or not in that state of mind to speak what has just happened because you don't expect
Yeah.
person. He was just 52, and we didn't expect this to happen suddenly out of nowhere.
Very true, yeah. And coming to Madhur as well, your thoughts as well of this legendary Australian spinner. I mean, this is just devastating. I never knew this will ever happen, but as Ashutosh said also, life is unpredictable. You never know when you die, when you live, and yeah. And as he said, yeah, Shane Warne being from subcontinent and his records is commendable. R.I.P. legend, and he says life is unpredictable. So yeah, your thoughts, Madhur, on this tragic news, second tragic news for Australia cricket for this day.
Just coming in 1 minute. Just
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we'll continue with the comments over here, and yeah, Ashutosh over here says, sad day for Australia and the whole world. When they woke up today, Rod Marsh passed away. When they slept, Warne has left us. Rohan, your thoughts? I mean, terrible day for Australia cricket, and I don't know whether the series is going to get cancelled. Because I mean, the cricketers may have to attend his funeral, obviously. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. So I mean, your thoughts of the now. I mean, especially the Australian cricketers, how they must be feeling mentally, and I mean, even former cricketers of Australia, present cricketers, the people that he worked with in Sky Sports and Fox Cricket, and wherever he commentated. So yeah, so still your thoughts on that? Yeah.
I mean, he touched everyone's lives, man. Come on. I mean, all these present day Australian team players would have grown up watching this guy perform on field and doing all his maverick things, which you didn't expect. But you kind of had that feeling that this guy is a magician, man. He can do whatever he wanted to. I mean, we have seen certain clips in the Big Bash and stuff where he actually used to wear that earpiece and commentate. I mean, talk with the commentators and say that this is the ball he's gonna bowl and get the batsman out. I mean, what kind of a legend is that, man?
Yeah.
That shows this guy's immense control and
And I think there was a
skill
video
set.
when he was teaching Rashid Khan. There was some competition, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, in the Big Bash League for Adelaide Strikers. He was teaching Rashid Khan how to bowl that rungan, which Rashid Khan is
Yes.
also good at, but he taught him separately. And I
Mm.
think they showed that in a separate video and have watched that hundreds of times. So that shows the true sportsmanship that Shane Warne has to this day.
Mm.
No, it's
I mean,
crazy.
yeah,
It's crazy. It just is like you just think what he's done, and you know something. I think the public, they react better when they see somebody who is living a normal life, do amazing things on a cricket pitch. We in England we had the same thing with George Best. He used to drink, go out with women, and do all these things that we would never think of. But when he came to playing on the pitch, it was like he's playing in the park. And I think
yep,
with Shane, it's that magnetism, and nothing more than taking a journeyman team like Rajasthan Royals to winning the IPL. In the first year, it was just crazy. And I spoke to Sohelji, and he was saying to me, he just turned up and he says, "Look, mate, you're not going to play today, but I want you to play, and next game you're playing." And that respect with the players as well, because he never captained Australia properly. But
yep.
we really think highly of his cricketing brain and his personality, and that sticks out like like gold. Yeah.
Yeah, sport with us. Can anyone say why was he in Thailand? I think he was on a holiday.
Holiday, probably.
He was on a
Holiday.
holiday. Yeah,
No, no, no. I think he was not just holiday, but he was trying to get fit and he was trying to get lean, is what the source is saying. Where he has shared some pics of his where he wants to shed a bit of weight, is what the idea was. I mean, let's not talk about only the country's name and get into wrong assumptions.
yeah, very
Yeah,
true. Yeah. Prasanna over here says 700 plus test wickets, 1000 first class wickets, and also most runs without a century. Absolute legend.
yeah,
Yeah, Vasha, coming to this from Prasanna here. 1000 first class wickets as well, 700 plus test wickets. Most runs without a century. It's not spoken much about as well. I
Yep.
mean, he I think has scored 2,500 runs, and I think Dickwell is second over there, but still the only bowler I think who has the most runs in Test cricket. So yeah, in
Yeah,
addition to
exactly.
that, Warner
Yeah,
was famous for his commentary as well, which I also agree as well. Definitely,
yeah.
definitely for Channel 7, he
Yeah,
was.
even what Prasanna just mentioned right now is absolutely correct. I mean, he was an animal, to be very honest, like the animal which was leashed in the cricket in that 22 yards, and look, I'm the boss now. So I guess Ron only mentioned he used to play with the psychology, so with the batsman, that made him more successful. If you get into someone's psyche, ultimately, no matter who you are, how great batsman you are, you're gonna fear that particular bowler. And he was the one who said, "Look, I may look like I'm the most unharmful person at this moment, but I make sure that you're not going to score runs." So
Hmm.
that positive mindset, I won't say it's a positive mindset, but it's a very strong mindset, which he used to come into those 22 yards. I mean, like look, he always took sides for his players or teammates. I just remember he was playing for Melbourne Stars, and the fight he had with Marlon Samuels with the Melbourne Renegades. I mean, there was something happened, and he out of nowhere he took side for his teammate and took all the heat onto him. So that's how he'll defend his teammates. But again, that aura, that positive person, or that charismatic approach towards the game is no more, and that's the bottom line right now.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I
it's
think
just
it's what we see now. We see this, and I've been saying a lot. You look at the characters in cricket, and there's very few characters in cricket now. It's very like a science lab. These cricketers are created like science labs. The personality of people is gone. And I even say to a lot of people who present shows and the hosts and stuff, I say, something, you need to have some fun. You need to, be a bit of a maverick to make people laugh and make people cry. And it's one thing that sport is, because the money is sport, the game. Well, I'm in the 70s, 80s child, yeah, and you could see so many people like Frank Worthington is a football player, amazing player that used to have his socks down. You could see him do some rock and roll stuff, and then when it comes to Saturday, 3 o'clock switch just hits it, and then perform on the pitch. And it's really difficult, now seeing all these players, the fitness regimes, the lack of freedom of speech on social media, the lack of personality. That's the thing. And Shane Warne had everything. Even whilst he was a commentator, he had it, and you could see it. I saw him at the London Spirit game at Edgbaston,
hmm,
and due to COVID, we couldn't approach him. Otherwise, I would have definitely gone to him and spoke to him. And I could have met him a couple of years ago in London. He came to London, and I could have met him. I had an invite, but due to my work, I couldn't go to London. So and that was like a dinner with him. And I really say to a lot of people, I said, one, what's your biggest regret, Paji? And they say, I could have had dinner with Shane Warne. And I said, and I had to do some work, and it was just not going to work out. So, but again,
Yeah.
you just see everything about this type of play. It's a guy, a man of the public, doing it on the public arena in the sport, and then he's just gone at 52. It's just crazy.
Yeah, very true. And want to go to the tweets as well, the Twitter reactions. Obviously, Sir Vib Richards has said, unbelievable. I'm shocked. Oh, this can't be true. Rest in peace, Shane Warne. There are no words to describe what I feel right now. The Indian Test captain Rohit Sharma has said, I'm truly lost for words here. This is extremely sad. An absolute legend and champion of our game has left us. Rest in peace, Shane Warne. Still can't believe it. Suresh Raina said, at lost of words to hear about the demise of our cricketing legend Shane Warne. He was always magical on the field. May peace be with you. My heartfelt condolences to his family and loved ones. We have Baba Azam, the Pakistan Test captain right now, has said, find it hard to believe such a devastating loss for the cricket world. He literally inspired generations with his magical leg spin. You'll forever be missed, Shane Warne. My hearts and prayers go to his family, friends, and fans. And we have the current wait. Waka Yunis has also said, Shane Warne no more. I'm shocked and shattered. Simply can't believe I'm hearing this. Very, very sad day for our cricket community. The biggest superstar of my generation gone. Goodbye, legend Shane Warne. Rest in peace. Condolences to the family and friends. The former MCC president Kumar Sangakkar has said, absolutely shocked and gutted to hear about Shane Warne. Legend and friend. Just can't believe it. And Somerset, I think that was where Shane Warne took that ball of the century, if I'm not mistaken, right, Rohan? This very
It was
ground.
at Old Trafford. Old Trafford.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Lancashire.
Shane Warne at Taunton in 1993. And even Somerset has also tweeted. And Birendra Sehwag, first one of the first tweets that came around to
Yep.
give condolences to Shane Warne. Cannot believe it. One of the greatest spinners, the man who made spin cool. Superstar Shane Warne is no more. Life is very fragile, but this is very difficult to fathom. My heartfelt condolences to his family, friends, and fans all around the world. Harsha Bogle, commentator right now, he's said, I am in agony, grief, and had no words. I was lucky enough to know him well. The magic will stay forever. Shane Warne. Yeah, so lot of tweets right now. And yeah. So coming back, let's come back to his most memorable spells, especially in Test cricket. I mean, coming with Rohan, let's start with Rohan. What do you think was his top five? I mean, most memorable spells, if you can remember the 90s, 2000s, like some of his best spells.
I mean, you can start with the 2005 Ashes series where he was the lone warrior, man. 40 odd wickets. I mean, no, England did win that series, but the return series in 2006 when he ended up retiring, there that spell in Adelaide when both the teams scored 500 each, and on the last day, literally everyone thought the match is heading for a draw. The only guy who believed that Australia can win was Shane Warne. He inspired his teammates, cut down entire run scoring options for England, made them go into that defensive mindset, bowled them out, and then Australia ended up chasing that. That shows that man's belief, man. I mean, that spell, okay, you may not look at it as a huge 7, 8 for or something. It was but that impact of that spell, only a Shane Warne could do it. And another spell, it was very early on in his career where he got a 8 for, I think, against England at the Gabba. I think the Gabba was one of his favorite venues because it didn't spin much like a CG or Adelaide, but he always said the spinner needs bounce to get wickets. Gaba offered him more bounce where he could get that bat pad catches or to the slip. So always, I feel you judge a bowler when the conditions are against him. What did he do? How did he bowl well? Shane Warne, for him the conditions didn't matter much. Any pitch you give him against any opponent, he was always trying his best, always up to his tricks. I remember in the 90s when before a series started, generally the Ashes, he would say a new invention of a ball, something. We used to give these funny names. It was nothing. It was actually simple ball only. But the psychology impact he used to create on the batsman, where something new was coming up. All those tricks, man. That's the genius of this guy. I mean, there's one more spell where he did against Sri Lanka, I think, in the 2004 series when Warne and
Yeah,
Murli were getting the exchange of the highest wickets. I think it was at the SSC, I think, right?
I think so.
SSE bowled, yeah, SSE bowled well. Early on 93 also when first time he toured Sri Lanka, also in SSE where Kalu made his debut, got 100, but the second innings won, got 5 for, and Australia won that test match. So many such impactful performances I can remember, but for me, one spell that generally feels was the Adelaide and the 1999 semi-final bowling to South Africa.
Very true. And yeah, Ashutosh over here said we have to talk about the IPL obviously, but yeah, Ashutosh here said IPL 2028 won against MSD led CSK. India has just won 2007 World Cup and he beat the then captain. Basha, your thoughts on this? I mean, inaugural IPL captain winner also for Rajasthan Royals, and he's no more anymore. So yeah, your thoughts on that? Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's a very massive statement made by Ashutosh. Yes, the India was then 2007 T20 inaugural world champions, and to beat Mahi, who was just coming into the picture. I mean, like, come on, yeah, to beat MS in the final is a very big thing. You really need that guts, and he believes in that team. You know, when you look at 2008 Rajasthan Royals team, I guess they were the underdogs. They rose initially, and we all expected, yeah, it's CSK who's gonna win. You just look at that CSK lineup. They had Sean Pollock, they had Hayden, they had Rana, they had Dhoni, they had Murli as well that time. But it was Warney who came on the top. I mean, he still remains the only captain who led to the inaugural IPL success. You know, I'm finding this situation very bizarre at this moment. And can we please stop this video? It makes me
sorry,
more just
sorry.
remember
Yeah,
I just trying to watch this, and it gets more emotional at this moment. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
so that's true. Right.
Yeah, very true. And coming to Aryan, also Aryan has joined. I mean, I'm lost for words, but yeah, your thoughts. I mean, of this devastating loss of Shane Warne. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
well,
I think,
loss of words are the only words that come to mind. It was a shocking news, and I'm not even at home. I'm traveling, and life is fickle. But what he's done for the game can't be forgotten, and he's inspired a million. And people will still always, look up to him. And yeah,
yeah,
sad day for
Krishna
cricket.
here has.
Yeah, all in all, you know, that's what I would like to say. Yeah, sad day.
Yeah, very true. Krishna here says legend is a word that's often used, but it's never more appropriate. He's a legend of the game in every sense. Yeah, I agree. He has a great knowledge. Pajisa, coming back to you, he has a great knowledge, shared it so much amongst the upcoming spinners, and he's met so many spinners. Being a commentator has also been helpful for Shane Warne as he's been able to have access to all the cricketers, especially Indian, Sri Lankan, Pakistan. So your thoughts on that, the aftermath of Shane Warne as well as a commentator and his teachings also.
It's amazing. I saw a couple of video clips with him and Kuldeep. He really loved Kuldeep. And Kuldeep had lost his way, and he spent half an hour, 45 minutes with him in the nets, and the respect, it's just like it's different level, isn't it? And I think he came back to Rajasthan Royals, not the last IPL, as the mentor.
Yeah,
And although we didn't succeed, it was just brilliant seeing him re-engaged with the franchise, and it's just really something that if you're a young cricketer and you see him sitting there, you want to pick his brains, because not did he just have the skill, he could execute the plans. He just had something that more people don't have, and I think that's what it is. And as I said, you get a captain that takes a journeyman team like Rajasthan, and he make them beat someone like Chennai, with the might of Chennai. And the reason why they won that was he was the inspiration of that. To get people to play their maximum every single game and want to play for that captain is something that we won't forget. And we say a captain is important in football, but it's not really. A captain is important in cricket because he controls what happens on the pitch. He makes the key decisions on the pitch is with the skipper. So you could put anybody to skipper that Rajasthan Royals team, and I guarantee you, we probably wouldn't have won that IPL with that
Yeah.
team. But he was able to get all those players, from a 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 7 out of 10 player to play like an 8 or 9 and play consistently through the whole of the IPL and take the pressure in the final. And the decision making that he was making, I think that was the key. And because he knew the game so well, I think that was the reason why he was such a legend. And good players don't make good captains or good coaches. And I think he was that person, and because he just knew the game so well.
Yeah, very true. And no one
I
talks
mean,
much about.
Pawan, to add on to Paji's point, Rajasthan Royals, as he said, was an underdog, but also Shane Warne's reading of the game, how well he used to read the situations. I mean, Rajasthan Royals, he used to give these fancy names to some of these young players like a Swapnil Asnodkar, Ravindra Jadeja, who are all young players at that time. He showed belief in them and told them they are match winners. I mean, not just to forget the biggest match winner they had, Yusuf Pathan. That guy was a revelation in the 2008 IPL season. Single-handedly used to win matches for Rajasthan Royals. So many players whom he gave belief, who went on to play for India later on. Shane Warne was the guy who gave that Rajasthan Royals team that belief that they can win. And that only, as he said, a leader can do, not just a captain. He led from the front for Rajasthan Royals then.
Yeah.
So,
Ashutosh said at EY against first names of cricketers. Patty Cummins, Scotty Boland, MCG was named as the G by Warne.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
oh,
very true things. Yeah, over there from Ashutosh. Yeah. Any more from Aryan? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, today we say that Rajasthan Royals are so young. The one to start this, ritual in that side was Shane Warne. As Rohan was just pointing out, Jadeja, Sohail, Tanveer, Yusuf Pathan, and then we've just seen this side give chances to youngsters, and the impact he's had on many leg spinners. Today, he's the reason we have so many leg spinners in the game, and he's the reason why leg spinners are dominating T20 cricket. Because he was with them in the IPL setup. He was always in commentary stints, and he chatted with the international leg spinners. If you saw the post of Chahal, you can see there's an instant connection that Uzi had with Vaughan. So yeah, so he's left a legacy, and yeah, actually,
Yeah.
we should keep him in good memory. I know it's sad, but his contribution is immense. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just reading Azan's thing, and he's on the ball. He's on the ball because for the first time, and I've been saying it for years, first time Rajasthan Royals have a dominant spin attack, probably the best spin attack in IPL, and and we were just waiting for Shane to commentate on that and just say, look, wow, 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 and then this happens. It's just like a bullet to the heart, and again, I think we should really, really. I know it's probably not the time to talk about it, but I hope, if the Royals win it, they make that tribute to Shane, to win it for Shane. Win it for Shane. Just do it for Shane, man.
But so much things are happening today. First, Rod Marsh, then there's a bomb which happened in Peshawar today. I'm not sure whether the Australia versus Pakistan Test series is also going to be abandoned right now because no Twitter tweets yet from the Australia cricket as well. Whether
I think
this series.
Pawan, there's a statement from Henry McDonald, the Aussie head coach. I think the series is likely to go ahead. That is the news I heard.
Yeah, but I
So
think he tweeted that at 7 p.m. He tweeted that at 7 p.m. before this news of Shane Warne. That's what
Yeah.
yeah.
Shoaib was told me. Yeah, so
Mm.
we haven't got a confirmation whether the
Hmm.
Australian cricketers will straight away go. I think even Pat Cummins has tweeted about Shane Warne, but still they haven't confirmed whether they're going to leave Pakistan now due to the security threats. And now, due to this news as well, even Pat Cummins has also said, hard to fathom. We all idolize Warne growing up for his showmanship, built to win from any position, and his incredible skill. Players all over the world owe him so much for what he has brought to cricket. He has a huge effect on all he met. He transcended cricket. R.I.P. King. Yeah.
As I said, I'll be surprised if they continue this series now. I think this is just like the nail in the coffin for the series because I think mentally, I think they won't be in the game. So I think I'd be surprised if they continue. As I said, if there's funeral arrangements and people and the players, he's had a relationship with these players, so many might want to go to the funeral, and whether Australia Cricket Board say, yeah, it's time to go home. It's too risky and just go home, do the quarantine, and if they have to do that, and then it will be the funeral. So I'd be very surprised if they carry on it, but if they do, good luck to them.
Yeah.
But talking about his ODI cricket, and that's not spoken much. We know what happened in 2003, which we won't go into detail. Let's keep that aside. But talking about 1996, 1999 of Shane Warne, Rohan. I mean, even we'll come to Bashia as well. But Rohan, 1996, 1999 World Cup especially. I mean, he led that team. Australia, I mean, semi-finals, finals, as you spoke about. I mean, that was memorable. 1996 World Cup semi-final against West Indies. He took a 4-wicket haul, if I'm not mistaken. Then against Australia also, he picked up 3 wickets. He didn't get a chance after 1999, which I was shocked. I was really, really sad what happened to him in 2003, which we won't speak about. But I feel bad that he's only played 2 World Cups, Rohan.
Yeah, I mean, 96, I think Sri Lanka were slightly smarter with the dew coming in and something that was new for Australia also. We saw Shane Warne ball full tosses. That's the only time I remember him, Arjun Ranatunga swatting him away for boundaries there. I remember because dew was something new for him. But 99, that guy was at his serious peak coming in there. You saw the drift, the control that he had, man. Outstanding bowling of spin bowling, I can say. On not much of a help from that wicket, I can say. It was only this guy's action, that amount of rip that he used to give. He always used to tell one thing to spinners: give it a rip, man. Don't say pitch is not assisting your amount of spin that you put on the ball. How much of impact you give that revs? That's what helps you to spin the ball. It's in the air, off the pitch. You will get it when you put enough on it only. So those things, little tips that can help young spinners are coming up. Those were the finer points where Shane Warne helped out youngsters, be it Chahal or Kuldeep, as Paji was saying, or even a Yasir Shah, Rashid Khan that you told about. So all these things, that's where you touch and reach to your fellow players, man. That impact of Shane Warne is huge always.
Yeah, very true. And coming to Barsha, seeing this, I mean, he's bowled 40,705 balls in Test cricket, 17 only considered 17,995. His economy, 2.65 in Test cricket is just phenomenal. And 48 4-wicket hauls, 37 5-wicket hauls, 10 wicket hauls. First class also tremendous, over 1,000 plus wickets as well. I think that adds to the Tests as well. But still, I mean, the records. Most player of the match awards in Test cricket, most runs in a career without 100, as we see here, 3,154 runs. His highest score has been 99, very unlucky 99, has got 100 in first class. Most ducks, which we won't talk about. These records, when you talk about Shane Warne, there's plenty and plenty of more on Shane Warne, but fastest to 700 wickets, which is another big milestone. 1,000 runs, 100 wickets. Yeah, so yeah, talking about this, most wickets in a calendar year, I think Deep Prakash also said about that, mentioned about that. But yeah, seeing these records and losing him today, I mean, this is just, I don't know what to say. I mean, at this age, I mean, I don't know what to say, anyways. Yeah, but
An
yeah,
outstanding slip fielder too.
true, yes. But Basha, yeah,
Just read the comment. I need to leave actually.
okay, sure, sure, yeah, sure, okay, yeah.
The
Anyways,
slip fielding,
yeah,
we don't talk about the slip fielding, but the slip fielding was absolutely, he had a basket for hands, and again it was, and I think the memorable thing is because Australia had is it Stuart McGill as the other really good spinner, and the fact is, if they were playing now, they could only choose one spinner, and that was Shane Warne. They potentially had a player that would have been absolutely amazing under the modern conditions. So I think, Shane Warne is, some players you have eras for them. They were just lucky to be in the. I think Shane Warne could have played any era and he would have been the top dog. So it's really tough, and it's just no time for the 52 years. This guy's, his commentaries, the legacy he could have made for cricket for the next few years, and that's just the loss. He was coaching London Spirit, and
Yeah.
they had a lot of good players at the start, big names, and at the end of when they knew they were out, he gave all the young players a chance to play in the game, and they actually started playing really well. So I know Owen Morgan stepped slightly aside and let them do it, and it was great seeing him at the ground. It was great watching him, work with the guys. I know Mohammed Amir. He was talking to him quite a lot. And he was also talking to, all the players. He was just really, really directing things and telling them what to do. It was just horrendous.
Even Murali, I
And
think Murali was message. I mean, he's a great friend, even though they're rivals, as we know.
yep.
But when he has said that I will remember him for the great memories we have shared together and extend my heartfelt and deepest condolences to his immediate family. And he has also mentioned, I also cannot forget the way in which he supported the Foundation of Goodness post tsunami to
Mm.
set up the platform towards creating awareness for rebuilding, reconstructing, and rehabilitation. Having visited the village of Sinigama with 60 minutes, where we both partnered together in enriching humanity. So great friends also. I mean, both Murali and Shane Warne, even though we speak lots about them comparing, but I don't think this is the right time. I mean, Shane Warne definitely for me also is regarded as one of the best, and it's very sad to see him also. Passing away at such a young age. I mean, young. I mean, 52 years, never expected, but yeah, that's how life is. But Rohan, you were coming with a point, yeah.
Oh, what I want to say was, Pawan, when you talk about greatness, say for our generation, it would be two batsmen who would be like Sachin Tendulkar and a Brian Lara. You can tell these guys are great because of the battles they had against this great man. The way
Yeah.
they played Shane Warne,
Sachin
beat us.
versus Shane Warne was one of the
Yeah,
best, in my opinion.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Warne versus Tendulkar or Warne versus Lara was a contest that we would love to watch anytime. Yeah, sometimes the Little Master won, sometime Warne won, sometime Lara won. But that contest, you just excitement that you saw was because of two champions against each other. It wasn't like a one-sided show or anything, right? So against, like, for example, Warne against England could be a one-sided show at times. Right. So
Yeah.
that wasn't there. This was like a complete gladiator set contest against when Sachin dominated one 98 in that Chennai or that entire summer basically. But when he toured Australia, one got him out a couple of times. So you saw that battle on. Same with Lara. Lara dominated him in so many games, but he came back and got Lara out too. So that shows when two champions are against it, that's where the greatness is seen. That's where Shane Warne is great for me. As you said, the top five players in the Wisden for the century also has Warne in
Yeah.
it. That shows this guy's legacy, the impact he has throughout the world, man. So Shane Warne for me, hats off, complete legend.
Yeah. And Brian Lara, before we sign off as well, Brian Lara says, and speechless at the moment, I literally don't know how to sum up this situation. My friend is gone. We have lost one of the greatest sportsmen of all time. My
Yes.
condolences goes out to his family. R.I.P. Warnie, you will be missed. Yeah, so it's very, very tragic. Yeah, and we literally spoke everything. Obviously, just tweeted in the morning about Radmash as well, another
I think
legendary.
Sachin has tweeted, right?
What?
Sachin has tweeted.
Wait, I'll check on Sachin. Yeah,
I'm
think
pretty sure, man.
I think everyone must have obviously tweeted by now. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we'll just see Sachin's also. Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Sachin has said, shocked, stunned, and miserable. Will miss you, Vani. There was never a dull moment with you around on or off the field. We'll always treasure on our on-field duels and off-field banter. You always
Yeah,
have a special place for India, and Indians have a special place for you. Gone too young.
agreed.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, I mean,
Unbelievable. As I
yeah.
said, it's just a shock, when your childhood legend, and I've just realised he's 2 years older. I'm two. He's 2 years older than I am, and it's just crazy to think that he's gone. And the thing is, when the player stops playing, you never heard of him, but him being on the TV, talking about the game, passing on that knowledge to players, and social media, in the time of social media, being able to chat about cricket is just crazy. And yeah, it only feels like yesterday we had the Rajasthan Royals and we were wishing him happy birthday, and then
Yeah.
he replied back to us, and that was just like crazy. And it's a sad day for cricket, and it's supposed to be starting as a brilliant day. Pakistan having their test match against Australia, India, Virat Kohli's 100, Rishabh Pant, they're going to get out for 96, and then at the end of the day this happens. It's just, yeah, just amazing, just really sad. And I just hope, or I hope his family and his close ones
Yeah.
are well.
Even Adam Gilchrist says numbed. The highlight of my cricketing career was to keep wickets to Warne. So you need to remember the wicket keeper as well behind, and we know how Gilchrist was behind the stumps. Best seat in the house to watch the maestro at work. Have often felt a tad selfish. That heels, and I pretty much exclusively are the only ones who had that thrill
Yep.
and pleasure at test level. R.I.P. Warne. I mean,
Yeah.
Gilchrist will never forget. I mean, his memory is also behind the stumps of Shane Warne.
Add
I mean
on
that.
Ian Healy, man. When
Yeah.
Healy would go ball and shine, that's what you
Bowling
would.
chain. I was just about to say
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that would
Bowling
be like an
chain.
absolute.
Bowling
Yeah,
chain.
that was music to our ears, man. You knew like the pressure is building up, where they would just discuss in between the overs. There's a ball where they got Basit Ali out last ball before stumps. You can
Yeah.
see that. Where they just discussed, and end of I think a few years later, one revealed they were just discussing what they're gonna have for dinner, man. There's no plotting or anything. They both just chatted nonsense and just played with Basit Ali's mind, and they got him out bowled around the legs last ball before stumps. So that's the kind of friendship they both shared. So I'm not sure what he and Ely would be going through right now, because that was a match made in heaven, man. Those pair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
very
It's
true.
just like, yeah. And again,
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing was, when a skill is dying, and everybody said it, in the 1990s, 1989s, 1990s, spin bowling is finished. Spin bowling
Yeah.
does not no longer have a place in cricket. And then suddenly this guy comes out the blue. He literally did come out the blue and just turns up, bowls the ball to Gatting, and then from that moment, you create millions of other people, encourage and inspire other people to take up an art which is dying. I think that's the biggest legacy, he's going to leave us.
Yeah, even Rashid Khan has also said, can't believe it. Extremely sad on Shane Warne's departure. Was a true legend of the game and an inspiration to many cricketers around the globe. Rest in peace. Yeah. So a lot, and I'm not sure whether Hayden also, maybe Hayden and yeah, even Justin Langer also might have, but yeah, lot of tweets going on, and I don't know what's going on with the series as well. But this is yeah horrible. Yeah.
I
Anyways,
mean,
guys,
Pawan, if
I
you
think
remember, this guy
yeah.
when Phil Hughes also passed away, the India series was supposed to happen. That got postponed by a couple of weeks. So I'm not sure how Cricket Australia will react with Pakistan also for this series. May just I hope so, because the players' mental state may not be 100% to get on with the test match, mind you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And we come to Venkat as well. Venkat, hello. And yeah,
Hello.
your thoughts also. Yes, your thoughts on
Nothing in
this.
thoughts, man. It's all sad. See, what the one thing I loved about Warney was, for whatever it is, he was one honest man. If he didn't like someone, he'll tell it to their face.
True.
He was not someone to mince his words. He was very honest about it.
Hmm.
Be it in his aggression, be it with his sledging, or be it when it comes to praising a player. See, one of the best things I remember about Bonnie was in the 2008 IPL. In the
Thoughts on
post-match
coaching?
presentations, no, he used to come up with some youngster.
Yeah,
He used to come up with some youngster from the team, and
Hmm.
he'll call him some other name. He'll call him
yeah, yeah,
Elvis or
yeah, yeah.
something.
That's all.
So like that, these were some things that that made him great for me. Like before that, I was of course like it was a fierce rivalry between Sachin and Shane.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I always looked at him. Oh, he's the man to beat. He's the enemy. He's the one. We have to hit him. I don't care if whether India lost the match or what, but we had to defeat Warne. You have to win against Warne. Warne was someone else. He was a legend. And let's not forget, he was the first guy to recognize the brilliance of Ravi Jadeja. He was the first guy to call him rockstar.
Yeah, from
Many, I mean,
rockstar to sir.
even Rashid Khan as well. To be frankly, also in Australia, yeah. So many red spinners, even Chahal, Kuldeep, yeah, Jadeja,
Hey, where did
yes.
Sandeep Aji go?
I don't. I think he left. Yeah, but Aryan, you rejoined as well. Yeah. Any more thoughts? Yeah, or memories of? Yeah.
I think my net is not very, as I said. Maybe you can hear me now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I can
can.
Hi.
hear
Yes,
you.
I think.
Yeah, I think
Wait,
you
I'll
pretty
rejoin.
much spoke a lot, and yeah, I mean, especially the 2008 IPL also, as Venkat spoke. I mean, inaugural captain also, and I think he only played for Rajasthan, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Throughout his IPL career, yeah.
Actually,
So that.
Pawan, he was the only guy with T20 experience. To be honest, he had played English county cricket T20s in 2005 onwards in to Hampshire. I think he played for Hampshire. He got Dimitri Mascarenhas to Rajasthan Royals, so he had a know-how how the T20 game works. So though this was an underdog team that everybody thought, he had those little tips where to get the best out of players. Playing Yusuf Pathan, as I said, was a masterstroke in giving him that license to go for the kill, man. Yusuf Pathan become a rock star from there. So Rajasthan Royals owe a lot of success to Shane Warne.
Mm, very true.
And by the
Yeah.
way, till date, he has the best win percentage as an IPL captain in a
Yeah.
season.
Mm,
87%. He won 87% of the match in 2008.
yeah. It's very sad to see. Yes. And yeah,
Pawan,
Aryan,
just to add on,
mm,
lots of topics going around nowadays about coaches and stuff. That guy didn't endorse much coaching, man. No, so you can think about the mindset this guy had. So that's why he's a great legend, man.
He even called out some like, I don't need a coach. I
John
don't need
Buchanan
coach.
now, guys.
Buchanan. Oh my god. See, I
mm,
think we should rename the stream to Chain One Appreciation Stream rather than
Mm.
memories or what. This is just we are
Yeah,
just
man.
appreciating stream. It's not a sad thing. It's just we are
Yeah,
celebrating a man's career. That's all.
yeah, very
Life,
true.
man.
true.
Actually, not just career. I'll say.
Career and life. Yeah.
Mm,
Life, yeah, I agree. Yeah, Aryan, any more thoughts before we end this stream? Yeah, because we spoke.
yeah, no. In India, Indian people really, related to Sachin early 90s to the 2000s, and then came the battle when he made his debut against us, 105 for 105, something like that. Then he comes back
205,
against,
man.
yeah, 205, and then he comes and gets Sachin again. So once that started, Indian crowd especially started relating to Vaughan, and then obviously he, as his career went on, he became a sensation. So uh, it's it's a lot of memories that he's left. As I keep repeating, and people will still keep looking at his clips like everyone do. Every young upcoming leg spinner will just search Shane Warne and start looking at his videos, what he used to do. So yeah, that will continue on forever. So yeah, a great cricketer. Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't know much on his information on his funeral yet, and we're not sure on the Australia versus Pakistan. Still, I think the Australia cricket
Well,
Twitter
the
page
funeral will take place probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow. They have to transfer the body from
Yeah, yeah.
Thailand to
Thailand
Thailand.
to
Australia,
Australia. Yeah,
and
so
the government is a national legend, so there will be a lot of, it will be a huge thing there
I,
definitely.
I think it may be around the MCG, hopefully, because that's where it was his home.
yeah, one of his, I mean, most of his best spells were in Melbourne, especially MCG. So yeah, as
His
Ashutosh also
700th wicket was there.
700th
yeah,
Yeah.
was at MC. And
MCG.
regarding
Did he
that,
touch 1,000
Pakistan,
wickets, 1,000 international wickets? Did he touch that?
1000 international, I don't think so, but first class, yeah.
I
yeah,
think
first class.
700 wickets in Test and 293. So I think he
How
has. I
many?
Oh,
think.
I
How
think
much in
so.
test? How many in
Yeah, he
test?
has
Se-
793,
se-
right?
708.
709, I
Yes,
guess.
708.
708. Huh?
Yeah,
And this was
708.
290. So that's done, right? 1001.
293. 293. 293.
It's done. It's
1001.
done.
Exactly. It's done. Yeah.
1,001.
Just about
1001.
crossed it.
Yeah, and
Yeah, man.
that's good to see that he trusts the 1,000 wicket mark
Yeah,
at least. I mean, he didn't even play ODI cricket. I mean, sorry, 2020 cricket much. Unlike
yeah,
even Murali, I think played around
And
2 or 3
like one
matches.
thing, a
But
controversial statement. People credit the Australian aggression to Ricky Ponting, but he was the face of Australian aggression.
Yeah,
you can
he
say that
was like,
he was the best non-captain they'd never had, maybe.
he could have been captain of Australia for sure.
Yeah,
yeah,
He could have been captain of any team. He could have been the
yeah,
coach of
yeah,
any team.
He has a great knowledge. Which I
yeah.
mean,
and
So
people
one
are
of the
more
best,
sensing this.
reasons
one of the best
to
slip
for Australia
catchers,
to
I think,
stop
for
the series right now.
Australia had.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, actually, yes. And he was a very, very good slip fielder. We can't forget that he was very, very safe hands in the slip.
yeah,
He
I think
made
Aryan's
made
lagging
a
once
few
again. Yeah,
few of those runs in Test cricket. Yeah, I
Pawan,
remember
if you see the
what
that
was his
last
Australia.
99? Who was his?
uh,
What was his 99 knock against? I can't remember
New
much.
Zealand, New Zealand at
Well,
New
first.
yeah.
Zealand. Oh, he got out slugging. He got out slugging to the deep mid wicket. I think Dan Vittori.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mm,
I
yeah,
think that was the
very.
last ball of the day, man.
The only
yeah.
thing about Shane Warne was, he didn't give a damn about this thing everyone blabbers about of the spirit of the cricket. He was there to win. He didn't care what happened. He will sledge you to the end of the world.
True. I agree. Definitely agree on
He
that.
didn't give a damn about spirit of the game or
Ask
anything.
I
ask
don't know if
Marlon Samuels.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Best example. Yeah.
No, no, no. Aryan, that is against an opposition player. He used to sledge his own players also. Okay, there's an incident in '94 when they toured South Africa. I think Alan Border was the captain, I guess. Alan Border, yeah, Mark Taylor, one of them. About 40-45 overs into the game, they did not give him a ball. They kept bowling McGrath and McDermott and all those guys. 41st or 45th over, Border brought him on. He picked up a wicket in the first over. He sledged his captain. I
Mm,
am such a good bowler. You didn't get me on. Is it in South Africa that too? So that shows his own belief in his ability, man. Even though that pitch may be a seamer friendly or something, that guy knew I could get a wicket even on that pitch.
Yeah,
yeah. Very true. Very Yeah, yeah, but I mean, still sad day. Obviously, I
Yeah.
mean, sudden heart attack. Never expected this. I mean, while holidaying, I mean, must be devastating for his family as well. And I wish all the best. I mean, to all. I mean, let's see
Yeah, let's
how the.
not make it sad, man. Let's not make it sad. It's
yeah.
it's
I
a
mean,
celebration.
it's
Yeah, it's
see,
celebration.
it's sad, but when you get the initial news, it's sad to that point. But again, this is life. We have to. I mean, what he's done
Yeah,
for
but he
cricket
could
is.
have contributed much more. I mean, he could have if he still lived. I mean, if he didn't
Pawan,
possibly,
you
he
can
could
say
have.
Someone, it's nature.
in
No
a
one's
lighter
above.
note, you can say he introduced Elizabeth early to the IPL fans, man.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he'll be always remembered as the inaugural IPL captain as well, who won the IPL as well for
Of all
Rajasthan
the
Royals.
things he will be remembered for, inaugural IPL champion will not be one of things. There are bigger things, man. Come on.
Hey, you are
Yeah,
talking
I
off
mean,
the
I was
field stuff, man. I'm saying
yeah,
on field. I think Pawan's saying
No,
on field
no.
stuff.
I'm not talking off the fields. I'm talking about there are much bigger achievements that guy had. IPL
yeah. So
championship
we
is
spoke
way
on
down
Vaughan's
the list.
achievements, right? The 700 wickets, fastest to 700 wickets, fastest to
It's not,
450 wickets
dude.
in ODI.
Don't,
Ball
the
of the
first
century,
thing
man.
when you're talking about Shane Warne is this ball of the century.
yeah.
That
We
is
did
what.
Getting
show the video on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
1993. Yeah,
And not
against
only, I think he
England.
did it multiple times.
He did it against Andrew Strauss back in 2005
he
Ashes as
did
well.
it.
I remember
He
one
did it
fantastic
through.
against Gary Kirsten.
Yeah.
There was a
Yeah,
similar unplayable ball.
I think he got one to Jacques Callis at Melbourne. If you just can check the one of the videos, bowled him around the
yeah,
legs to a quality player like a Callis. Class bowling, man.
Mm,
yeah.
very true.
So he's what he's done is we call him the magician because he's fooled a lot of batsmen, made them look
There's
stupid.
something Aryan he did which was very rare at that point of time. Using the rough. bowling the ball into the rough and getting people out bowled. I don't think that was much of a fancy thing then. That guy was the one who started bowling
Mm.
into the rough and getting people bowled around the legs. That's a thing that I think everybody would have tried to copy,
Even
man.
back then, the pitches in England also were not that good for spinners also, and he somehow
Yeah,
got that
Forget
turn.
pitches in England. Talk about pitches in Australia.
yeah, that's
It
what in
was a
Australia you get a
fast bowling mecca. There he was spinning because
yeah.
he did not have any other pitch. Did not have any turn, so he had to bowl in the rough. He did not have options, Rohan.
No, no, I'm saying using the rough. Rough was
Yeah,
there previously in yesteryears. Nobody used the rough as well as Vaughan did. I mean,
yeah.
for us, when we were seeing what is this black stuff around these pitches, we used to not as young kids. Then suddenly
Mm.
someone said it's rough and stuff. Suddenly, Vaughan is pitching it out of the rough and getting wickets out of. We're like, what happens in India, man? We don't see this kind of a rough in Asia, basically. Forget just India. It was only in Australian pitches you get those conditions, utilizing the conditions. That shows this guy's mind again. How well he read the game.
Mm.
The thing is, the best thing I remember about Vaughan is the thing I do right now also, like I support India, I support CSK. So if a team is beating CSK or Team India convincingly, I respect the team more. The
Yeah.
reason Shane Warne got that respect was because all the battles that he had with Sachin.
Yep.
Every over of
Mm.
Sachin versus Warne was a event because Sachin used to give it back with
Yep.
his
Yeah,
sweeps and his steps out, and like the reason
it
Sachin became a
was
legend was because he was cheating Shane Warne,
it was
and vice
it was a
versa.
constant chess match, you know. It was a constant chess match. One always had some plan against the other. You heard that story where Sachin was trying to prepare in the nets and something, and Vaughan is he's trying to prepare on the other end. So a
And you take
battle.
all legends, huh? Be it Sachin, be it Mahela, be it Lara, be it this guy. VVS Lakshman had a fantastic record against
Yes.
one.
Hmm.
Yep.
One of the
Mm.
underrated players against one is VVS Lakshman. VVS Lakshman dominated one with his
Hitting him
sweeps
out of
and
the rough.
his
Hey,
yeah.
no sweep. Footwork.
See,
No, but
Same
Brian
he's a
ball
Lara.
fantastic
outside
sweeper
leg stump
also.
uh, towards mid wicket and same ball through extra cover.
If you
VVS
remember
Lakshman was
Brian
one of the
Lara,
most underrated guy against one.
Yep.
yeah, he Brian Lara demolished Danish Canaria. If you remember that game,
Hey,
Danish
he
don't
Canary, I
compare
haven't heard
and
that
Canary and all
name.
and
in.
no, no, no. What I'm saying is he dominated every good spinner basically who came against him. But
But like
Vaughan was
here's a
the
cross
only
question to
one.
you, Aryan. Name me a
Yeah,
bowler which Lara has not dominated.
yeah. I Shane Warne to some extent. Shane Warne had a good battle against him. Shane Warne got him a few times.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I
that
can say
was
Glenn McGrath, man, maybe.
No, no, no. Lara dominated him as well.
But
Lara
McGrath got
had,
him a lot.
yeah, yeah. That's why Megra is also a legend because he got Lara out.
That's what we were talking before you joined, Venki, that whoever the
Mm.
Sachin, Lara, Lakshman, as you said, all were greats because they also played a great bowler like Vaughan well.
Yeah.
Same way Vaughan was great because he was getting these guys also out. So that's where the
And
greatness is seen, man.
definitely to become a great in your skill, you have to beat the great.
Yes, yes. To
That
be
is
the
the
best, you
by
got to beat the
default.
best.
Simple. Like today we are talking why we consider Virat Kohli the great because we saw him demolish Lasith Malinga
2012.
in that
Yeah.
Yeah,
183. That
yeah.
we
He
before
announced
that he
himself.
was still the young guy. The maybe
Mm,
the next phase he was going through a tough game till that also. He was not that consistent.
mm.
I was having 20s, 30s here and the strike rate was questioned. People are questioning his strike rate. But when he hit Lasith Malinga for that six boundaries, suddenly, oh, okay, this guy is not a fluke.
Mm.
Because Malinga had that kind of a stature in world cricket.
by that
Yeah.
time, though. Yes, fully. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are talking about peak Malinga. 2013 is peak Malinga.
Mm.
Let's come back to
I
one
think
man.
back in
Yeah,
2012.
yeah.
And then that Asia Cup was Virat Kohli scored
Yeah,
183 odd.
180.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pakistan.
Pakistan. Yeah.
Pakistan. That
And the
was
genius
one of
of
the
Shane
best.
Warne was how he used that Savai Mansingh Stadium. I think he
Yeah,
gave a template to Rajasthan
Fortress.
Royals, which Rajasthan Royals has failed to use after that.
Yes.
Mm. I agree.
Using that
Uh-huh.
long boundaries, people could not hit him. He was like, if you
Hmm.
want to hit me, hit through the longer boundary. And
Mm.
there was a filter standing there. Either you will get caught out if you're trying to hit over, or your ball will not reach the boundary.
Also, the nature of the pitch, the nature of the pitches he prepared were very abrasive. If we will remember the early Savai Mansingh, very slow,
See,
kind of.
that's what I'm telling Aryan. People
Mm.
now crib a lot about the spirit of the game and the pitch should be good enough and it should turn from the third and this and that. He prepared pitch to win. If he's having that home ground, it is supposed to support him. That's all.
Correct.
Hmm.
People are
Yeah, I
like
think.
childish, if you call me today.
Yeah, but yeah, sad news also. Rod Marsh also before also passed
Ah,
away.
Rod
I
Marsh was a big loss.
Yeah, Rod
Huge
yeah,
Marsh.
legend.
He gave
at the age of.
legends also.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, so two losses. I mean, in the same day for Australia cricket, and yeah, it's a very sad day also for the world of cricket
Hey,
as
what
well.
are you doing, man? telling you, don't be sad. Let's celebrate the man's life, man.
Pavan,
It's
Pavan, I'll make you happy. Just going completely off topic. Vaughan and Rod, great cricketers. But what about this Rishabh Pant, man? Why is he not getting the bloody century, man? Again, 96 today, man. What the
what
heck,
are you
man?
talking, man? Man, tell me, man. What are you saying, man? Tell me, man.
TC
I mean,
captain, man.
my
Looks like Aryan
frustration.
has reached Bandra.
I mean, my frustration is up to level 100. Why is he not getting that done? Always 96, 95.
Same could
You
be
are
said for
very.
Virat Kohli,
Only
right?
Rohan got the joke.
50. Same could be said for Virat Kohli. 80, sorry, 73 innings. I think
No, no.
he
If
in.
Virat gets past 50, in his prime, he got 200. This guy is in his prime and he's still getting nervous 90s. Rishabh
But
Pant.
he got
Aryan,
a 100 against South Africa, right?
Aryan.
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
again. I'll Though Pawan is there, but I'll still praise Rishabh. One thing is, uh, just imagine, like what Ashu said in the group today. Imagine he
Mm.
getting those 5 centuries in
Yeah.
28 matches, 8 centuries in Test
Eight
cricket.
centuries. That's outstanding. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I have
I mean,
bound
see the
like I have.
impact, man. I
Yeah,
mean, that
one
situation
session
when he
again today
played
also
that,
he changed the game in one session.
yeah, yes. I mean, if there was one more loss of a wicket, it could have been different story
Yeah. See,
altogether.
I think this is the nature. He'll live by the sword. He'll die by it. As
I think it
simple
was
as
what
that.
He's living a lot.
first over after I think, right? I think he charged on the track and hit Luckmal for a
Oh,
boundary.
Embulinia hit him for. No, I think
But to be
No, no,
Embulinia
honest,
no.
six over.
today that the short
Three.
selection was fantastic. He hardly swung at wrong balls.
Yes.
One or two maybe here and there. His short
Mm,
selection was spot on.
yeah,
And he got out to a
Uh,
fantastic ball. He did not throw away his
yeah,
wicket.
new ball.
Pawan, who's the
Fantastic
Sri
ball.
Lankan spin bowling coach? Ramesh Ratnayake, right?
No, no, he's the
No,
incoming
no, no.
coach. I think
He's
it's
fast bowler.
Pial. Pial.
Aryan,
Pawan,
don't
first
ask such
thing,
silly
honestly,
questions. Pawan is
what
not
was the
going to give
selection,
credit
man?
to any coach.
Mohali
No,
pitch,
but
three
I'm
fast bowlers,
talking about
one
this
spinner.
Embulinia. Embulinia
Dude,
bowling
Rohan,
Bunstead no balls. That was.
Mm.
today they added half an hour extra and still they
Yeah,
were
still
short by
not
5 overs.
completed overs. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka is
They'll,
top
Bhai,
of the
आधा over
table and they'll
खत्म
go
भाई.
down with lots of points, it seems.
they'll lose some points for sure after this match. Maybe if they don't catch up.
No, this will
The,
definitely
the,
count. It's not about, it's a per day
this will
No, no,
situation.
count.
no. No, 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 no. It's the end of the game where everything. Sorry, end of the series also. I think maybe at times. I'm pretty
No, no,
sure,
but
but the end
this
of
will
the game.
count. This
No,
end of,
no. End
no,
of
Rohan.
game only. There. No, end of day doesn't count. I know because India themselves used to do this. Na next day suddenly Sir Jadeh used to come and make up the overs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Sir
Yeah.
Jadeja has to make up the overs within the day also.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But next day also Dhoni used to use him for these things only.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
The
Dhoni
thing
was
is,
captain, was these rules there even there?
No, no. In terms
I
of
think Sri
monetary
Lanka,
fine was there.
what Sri Lanka did
Yeah.
was they made a mistake, as Pawan was saying in our group, by not
Yeah,
picking,
selection.
Yeah,
because
selection.
and whatever over the years I've been to the ground, I've seen the wicket. This Mohali wicket was such a surprise to me because the new ball was staying close to the feet. There
True.
was barely some carry on a Mohali
Hey,
wicket. That is very, very
Aryan, 1 minute, 1 minute,
uncharacteristic.
1 minute. Look who is back.
Yeah. Oh, sir,
Magrur, how
sir. Yeah.
how are
I
you
mean,
today?
as I was saying, that is a signal that by day two tomorrow tea or day three morning, spinners are going to run through you. That is a clear signal. If the ball is staying this slow. So I think India are almost in the driver's seat. Declare tomorrow, bat till lunch, have lunch, and then bowl them out, win the match.
India,
That's
if
that's really
manages
gonna
to
be.
bat properly the first hour, we are looking over 500.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe.
definitely.
Sri Lanka made a huge selection.
400
I don't.
max, man.
You consider, like, I'm looking at 500, and if India reaches 500, we are winning by an innings.
Yeah, and that is
Hey,
why I'm not booking the tickets for even day two. I think the match will be over
Rohan, you
tomorrow.
might deny, you might and estimate Sri Lanka, but looking at the turn the Templeton you got, Ashwin will
no,
be.
no, no. I am not underestimating anyone. I am saying 500 is a bit far fetched to think of because only Jadeja and Ashwin are there. New ball is there, so we need to be cautious for the first half an
That's why I'm
hour.
saying,
In
na.
case we lose a wicket, I'm looking at a worst case scenario also. 400,
Hmm.
425, maybe max also is fine. 500 and all because we need to know next is Jayant Yadav. I know Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami are also capable batsmen, but we can't expect them on this kind of a pitch against quality spin like Emil Deni also. So let's
I
get
think they will
Ashwin
be able
bowling
to.
fast.
Tomorrow, what will be interesting is Pawan will agree. Dimut Karunaratne versus Ravichandran Ashwin. If he's
Mm.
able to survive at that stage, that will be a battle to watch.
If I think anyone can survive Ashwin in these conditions, it is Karunaratne.
Yeah,
He's been one of the best
Aryan,
batsmen in the year.
let's look at one step ahead. I think first innings Sri Lanka may collapse. We also know Karunaratne is a good batsman in the second innings. So I want to see
Yeah.
Karunaratne in the second innings against Ash.
Mm. Mm.
when it's the real test, when the pitch will start
हाँ,
doing all the tricks. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We have
घर
Madhur
में भी
also.
मास्क पहनता है क्या?
Why is Madhur with a mask?
Corona, CC, Corona cautious.
You don't talk. You mute.
What's
Why?
the what's the topic to discuss? Our legend is died.
We were just talking about India versus Sri Lanka, the
Bhai
first match.
sahab.
Yeah.
You want to know the topic? Okay. The topic is where were you since morning?
Hey, someone might get angry, but here is a dumb guy who is laughing, and karma is a bitch.
Oh,
I will
okay.
definitely.
You should thank
Yeah,
all of us. Okay, first.
I think we'll speak about this
Yeah,
after ending the live, right? Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
anyways,
mean,
Pawan, also, it would have been great if Little Aman also would have been part of this
yeah,
now.
I think it's too late, and I
Yeah,
think
I
maybe
know.
I'll make him to do another video. Maybe we'll come back and do some small video, maybe upload a video with him in the
but
weekend. Yeah,
Pavan, my one last question. You've been following this Sri Lankan team for a long time. Um,
yeah,
who are the two batsmen who can really dig in tomorrow? Maybe a Dhananjay De Silva, maybe a Matthews with the experience, and maybe make India, stay a bit longer in the field.
yeah.
As far as you are
I think
concerned,
it's
who are you?
Karunaratne and Dhananjay De Silva for me. I think Karunaratne has been really good recently with his form. 2021, he had a brilliant season, and yeah, Dhananjay De Silva was very good against spin. But Ashwin will be a big test for him and Jadeja. But I still feel like if he can, I mean, they don't have to rush. I mean, they should just survive
Mm.
day two. That's the main focus. I mean, not trying to just get dismissed by silly dismissals. I mean, they should just rather focus on staying on surviving day two, and then maybe see what they can do in day three, because I mean, Karuratna, Tirimana, Nisanka, I think they have a solid top five. I would say Sri Lanka, it's not going to be easy, especially with Ashwin, Jadeja, Bumrah. The bowling lineup that India has, it's not going to be easy for Sri Lanka. But if at least one of those top six can stay tomorrow, I think they have a chance. Maybe, I mean, maybe a
I want to see how Nisanka applies himself because he looked pretty solid in the T20s. So his technique suits more Test cricket, I feel.
I
Uh,
contradict you, Rohan, on that. I'm not sure about Nisanka will be able to survive here. His techniques
mm,
are
Hmm.
like, if his short selections are also a bit abrasive, yeah, in my opinion. Like, with opening the batting against Bumrah, I doubt he will be able to survive
I think he'll be
in
one
a
down.
test
I think
condition.
opening
he'll be one
Tirimana
down.
and
He'll be Tiriman
Karuna.
and Karuratna.
So he'll be batting out of
no,
his
I think
natural position.
why would you send Tirama? I think Tiramana is three.
I think he'll
No,
play
no,
medium
he's
also, I
opening.
believe.
Dimut has said
Okay,
that they want two left arm.
okay.
Yeah, so they'll
So
go with
Nisanka is
Tirima.
already batting out of his position.
Yeah, he used. Yeah, that's true. But with Tiriman, I mean, it's very tough. I mean, Tiriman was had a decent 2021 as well. I would say, even though his average doesn't, his before average isn't. He had a decent
Pawan
2021,
Thirimana
especially.
was at his best when he batted with the likes when he batted around 5 6. I think that was Thirimana prime when Sangha and all those were around. I really liked Thirimana at that point in even one day and even test matches. But I think now he's lost that touch that he had earlier. That number 5, number 6. I really like that as a number for him. But let's see how he goes.
I mean, if it's two lefties batting opening, I'm pretty sure someone like Ashwin will be rubbing what to be done next.
Even Jadeja is very
Ashwin is
dangerous
going to
against
come.
lefties.
On this pitch, I feel
Yeah,
Jaddu is the bigger threat than Ash.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm,
yeah.
very true. Yeah.
You and
Madhur, any
his
more
odd ball
thoughts?
where it does not spin,
Mm.
that will be the
Hey,
most
talking
dangerous
about
one.
left-handers,
Hey,
how
let
can
legit
Australia
Madhur
allow
speak.
someone like yeah, Mother Bolo bhai,
Yeah, I
mute.
don't know what's up with
Why are you
Madhur.
wearing a mask?
I don't know what he's trying to do.
All the
Anyways.
panelists, please explain how good
Fever.
Australian
I
Fever.
have
Okay,
fever.
fever.
okay,
Oh, okay,
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 okay.
okay.
Get well soon, bro.
No problem, no
Okay,
problem.
get
Get well
well
soon,
soon.
anyways.
All
Yeah.
the panelists explain how a good Australian attack can let Imamul Haq score a century. I'm not still able to fathom the fact that he got a
Yeah,
century
Imam Malak
somehow.
is a good batsman, man. Why are you not able to fathom?
He's a good batsman, but still there were many flaws the way he was batting today. I mean, especially against Nathan Lyon, countless edges. But he got a
It's
century. He played
okay.
well.
It's home conditions. If not in home conditions, where else Imam Malak will perform?
Aryan, in the
Hmm.
scorebook, it won't say how you got it. He scored the
Yeah,
runs.
yeah. But I'm feeling for Shan Masood, man. I really expected Shan to play this test match. Yeah,
And to be
Yeah, I can
honest,
say welcome to Pakistan for
look at his
Australian team on the roads.
look at his scorecard. Imamullah, he took his time. He batted for 271 balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's striking at 100 for only 48.
but batting on a road
Abdullah
and
Shafiq
runs
also
and
did a good job. I would say Abdullah Shafiq along with Iman Al
Yes,
Haq.
yes, he was good.
yeah, Shafiq is good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what. So they did a good job. And yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I think Mitchell Marsh wasn't in this playing 11 also after the loss of his dad. But still, I mean,
Mm.
I mean, they
Go
only
up, Pawan, go up.
I think they only went with one spinner. I think which was Lathan Lyon, obviously, but sort
that
of
is a
same.
trick. That is a trick they missed. I really feel Aston Agar could have been
Swepson.
very,
Swepson, I
very
feel.
helpful
Hmm.
on the
Played
on the
Swepson
pitch.
should have played. Rizwan batting at 6 is going to be interesting. Let's see. And Baba Azam also. Rizwan batting in the middle order in
They,
Test
they,
cricket.
they will get 500 tomorrow. See.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah.
Australia will be sleeping by end of the day. They will say, please declare, spare us.
Anyways, they'll want to cancel the series. I mean, after all
Like
these moves,
Pakistan is giving more reasons like now.
but Pakistan will try to now maybe finish
And
this.
trust me, I don't want to say this, but none of it now you can say nobody has sent an email and all now.
No, it's all started. See, first of all,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
thing
it'll
now,
come. It'll come. The CA will send it, and then they'll
guys.
come
Mm.
back.
I'm very much into political research. Like I look at countries and their state things. Like, okay,
Mm.
how is this setting up? The communal violence between the Shia community and Sunni community is going back long. And
Yes.
this mosque that is blasted, it's again a Shia mosque.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's
This is where the ex Prime Minister Pervez Musharraf,
Mm.
when
Mm.
the military regime took over in Pakistan, it
Mm.
was after he took over the communal violence got control. Before that,
Mm.
it was lot of murders and this crime was
Mm.
going on. This is a long history,
Yeah.
so
I know.
it is not something like it's very rooted in very core of the country. It's
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Today was the day when the attack on the Sri Lankan team also happened, I think, right?
yeah,
2009.
March
March
3rd. Yeah,
on 3rd,
March
huh?
not
Okay.
not today. Yesterday. Yeah.
Yesterday, huh? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
March 2009. Yeah, so one day after they want to, I think
So
this was a planned
yeah.
attack to Australia. I think maybe because
No,
I
no, no,
mean,
nothing like that. I think, see, this, as far as I understand the situation, this has nothing to do with Australia. It's internal communal that is
Internal stuff.
happening.
Ah.
Yeah, there's nothing to do with Australia they being there.
yeah,
Maybe they would have chosen this day to highlight their accomplishments or
Hmm.
what they
Hmm.
wanted to say.
Yeah,
Because with
yeah.
Australia, there the national media will pick it up.
Hmm.
yeah.
But this is going long back, huh? Like before Musharraf, the people were fleeing for life from the country, you know.
Let's wait and watch, man. What happens?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
So,
thanks
I
for
have some.
cheers to one, I can say.
Venkat.
Here's
Yeah,
to Warnie. Here's
Here's
to
to Warning.
Warnie.
cheers to
Warning.
Vaughn's memories and
By the way,
appreciate.
read
Yeah,
one. I think it's one of the Facebook posts. This Michael Vaughan is one of the most beautiful things coming from Michael Vaughan's mouth, which rarely happens. But it was
Mm,
fantastic to read what he has said about Shane Warne.
hmm, very true. Yeah.
What can you say, man? Ball and shine.
Hey, you can share the screen. Check if it's just copy that in Twitter, Pawan. Just check Michael Vaughan's account.
Wait, wait, wait a sec. I think, wait, something stuck. I think I can't. I think something stuck with my screen. Yeah, unless someone shares with it, possible.
I'm calling from mobile, man.
I think something
wait.
stuck.
Wait. Twitter, right?
Check in if it's shared in Twitter. But I read it.
Mm,
I think it was a Facebook post or something.
I don't know if I should say this or not. This is a very sensitive time, but on a lighter note, did Wasim Jaffer reply by any chance?
Reply to what?
Michael Vaughan's tweet.
Hey, no, yeah.
I don't
This
think
not the
so.
time. Not the time.
Yeah, this is not
I
the
don't
time.
think
Yeah,
The
sorry.
banter is different.
that banter is
Yeah.
different.
Wait. Yeah, I got it. I think I got it. Wait. Uh,
Wait,
Michael Vaughan tweets.
wait. I think. Wait. Love
Okay,
your
what?
king. I can't find
Love you, King.
a
That
column. I
is.
think it's on Telegraph. No, I think it's on Telegraph.
I don't know. I
Okay,
just read it.
I think it's on Telegraph.
Instagram, right? It can.
Check on Insta. Check on Insta. It could be on Insta.
Okay, I can read it to you.
Wait.
Uh
Share the link with Pawan.
Hmm.
wait. I think Pavan
Wait,
can
wait.
show the
Give
screen.
me a sec. Wait,
Check
I
check on
maybe.
Insta.
Give me a sec.
I
See,
don't
I
remember,
got it.
man.
This is Pavan. Try and share the screen. Uh,
Wait, give me a sec. I think I might have got his.
I'm sharing the screen. Maybe this is.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah. It's on Insta. It's the caption on Insta.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he said, I
Expand it.
can't tell you how hard it is to get this down in words. It just doesn't feel real to be taking down someone who
Expand
once
it. It's more.
enemy.
Wait.
I think it's on your screen. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, I think.
Yeah, Shane was the greatest ever cricketer, but more than his character lift up every dressing room, commentary box, bar, golf club, and friendship group. His energy and positivity was beyond anyone I have ever known. He was loyal beyond loyal at a time I needed support. He was the first to pick up the phone and over advice, help, and the most utmost support. I will never ever forget the warmth he and his family gave me this winter when I was down under for Xmas long alone. To say I spent Barney's last Christmas with him and his family is so sad, but once I will cherish. All of us eating turkey, beef, the usual Christmas trimmings, and the king to stick to his lasagna rolls plastered with butter. That's Barney, the superstar, the greatest friends to world superstars. Everyone wanted to be around him, but ultimately he was just a normal guy who could do incredible things. Leg spin is the hardest skill in our game, and he mastered it. He became a great poker player as he loved gambling. But before the competition, put a psych into his opponents. Thus, he loved. Just like when he bowled. My thoughts are with his mum Bridget and dad Kate, plus his three kids that I know he is immensely proud of: Brooke, Summer, and Jackson. We are all thinking of you. I am absolutely gutted to have a lost great friend. One thing is for sure: heaven will be a lively place now the king is alive. Love ya, Shane X.
Yeah, emotional tweet. Yep.
Well, Rajni.
It's
Hmm.
very rare from Vaughan. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Venki, to be honest, no, he's kind of also a bit misunderstood. Also, this guy won. He writes
Yeah,
certain
no,
things
no.
so that
He's a
he gets
he
this
does it on
attention.
purpose.
Yeah,
He does
yeah,
it
yeah.
on purpose.
Mm.
Very true.
Like even on recent, I think with Ash's interview said like I
Yeah,
love engaging in banter with the Indian fans,
you get coverage, man, publicity.
and
Yeah.
he just does it for fun. But the thing
See,
is, he
speaking
got
of
involved in some
publicity,
of the wrong stuff recently.
there's one guy who came with lots of publicity today here. He's here. See, any publicity is good publicity, right?
And he's very silent. Yeah, but still,
Yes,
yeah. Yeah.
he's protesting.
Hmm.
Mm. Be ready. 3 more days to go.
Yeah, but anyways, guys, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Rohan, Venkat, Aryan, and
Yeah.
Madhur
Thank
as
you.
well for joining late, and then Pajis as well to show the
Yeah.
appreciation of Shane Warne, his memories, his greatest spell, his records, many records to be spoken of, which is long listing, especially his Test cricket career is just phenomenal. Definitely the best leg spinner in history of cricket, and many were inspired of Shane Warne as well. And yes, Johnny D says a very sad day. Yes, I mean, yeah, we'll just think it as a memorable day. I mean, just to discuss on Shane Warne and his happy memories. Yes, so we need to think it in that way. Anyways, life is very unpredictable. We never know when a person dies, passes away. So just need to relive their memories and the legacy that they've created behind. And hopefully, in many years to come and many generations to come, still youngsters will follow Shane Warne and his videos on YouTube. Yeah, and Madhur want to say something. Yeah. No. Okay. All great. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Eh,
one thing I want to sign off before. The only spinner I think who reminds me of Vaughan's bowling now is Rashid Khan,
yeah. We just spoke about him as
and
well.
he's
Yeah.
as wily as Shane was.
Hmm. Caught and Bowl says he tweeted about the death of Rod Marsh 1 hour ago. This breaks my heart.
Yeah,
I think 1 hour before he passed away. Yeah. So that's 15 hours. I think 14 hours. Yes, 14 hours. Caught and Bold. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much, Rohan, Madhur, and Venkat for joining once again. And yeah, it's a sad day for Australia cricket. And yeah, deepest condolences. And yeah, let's see how the funeral also goes along. Most probably might be in Melbourne. But yeah, let's see who's going to attend. And yeah, let's see what's going to happen with the Australia versus Pakistan series, whether it will continue. There's no reaction from the Australia cricket yet, cricket board on this. So yeah, hopefully things will go ahead. And I think India versus Sri Lanka tomorrow. So all the players will be wearing black bands. I mean, black bands behind their arms. I mean, for the appreciation of Shane Warne. And I think today for the warm up match against for England versus West Indies, there was a 2 minute silence for Shane Warne also. So yeah, that's the legacy he created.
Not a
And
warm up, not a warm up match. It's official. It's a
what?
the
first
World Cup
match
has
of World
started,
Cup.
Madhur.
Yeah, he's saying warm up match, but it's not a
Warm up
warm up match.
match.
Warm up match, England
And
versus sorry, that England versus West Indies series. I think that is series going to begin. I think they have a
oh,
warm up match beforehand. I was not talking
oh,
about the Women's World Cup.
I'm thinking
Oh, okay,
about
okay.
women's match.
Talking about the Women's World Cup. Thank
And
you
by
for
the way,
reminding
India and
the
Sri Lanka are
Buttercream.
going to wear black armbands tomorrow
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
in
what I tried
support
to
of
mention. Yeah.
both Rod
But
Marsh and Shane
Women's
Warne.
World Cup that Madhu reminded, what a thriller. I mean, New Zealand versus West Indies. Thrilling match. I mean, West Indies women's won by 3 runs. Brilliant bowling from Dottin in the final over. 2 wickets, 2 balls, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, New
Yeah.
Zealand
And not to
favorites lost.
forget Haley Matthews batting also
Yeah,
much. She was also spectacular, and Sophie
yeah.
Devine also.
True, they're 100. I mean, Haley Matthews scored 100 and picked up 2 wickets. Yeah,
Yeah,
and a good start. I mean, a good start to the Women's World Cup. And I think tomorrow it's Bangladesh versus South Africa, women's, and then yeah, and also Australia versus England. So that will be interesting tomorrow as well. Especially that clash.
Big
And
Sunday is
match
then
India.
day after tomorrow.
yeah,
Sunday is
Yanish,
India Pakistan, man.
shocking news. Yeah, on Sunday. Yes.
I'm not so excited for the India Pakistan match.
Who cares, man? After the T20 World Cup, time for something for us to celebrate, maybe.
You
I
already
know, only
celebrated
150 for no loss.
under 19 World Cup.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
in some women's maybe. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, thank you, Rohan, Venkat,
Yeah.
and Madhur. And
Good night, man.
yes, we'll
Good
end this.
night.
And thank you
Bye,
so much,
guys.
Thank
guys,
you.
and bye. Bye, everyone.
Ownership of the moment there from Warne. Strategically and tactically, a gifted man, a gifted cricketer.
Wherever he went, there was always so much hype and so much attention, and he just lapped it up. He wanted the big stage, he wanted to perform and show the world how good he was.
He realised that cricket and being out on a cricket ground like here at Lords, you are centre stage and you are trying to entertain people. I think cricket needed Shane Warne.
Just couldn't dominate him. Didn't matter if I took 1 wicket or 40. I didn't like losing.
When he was bowling, you kind of felt there was real ownership
Of the moment from Warne.
Watching a spell from Shane Warne, you got your money's worth.
He was the unfinished product.